Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome in. Dadman Walking 55 here, coming to you live 3 minutes after 9 on the East Coast. We got the great JT Kirk with us. Hello, JT. How are you tonight?
Hey, good evening.
Hey, we
Happy
had last week
sports.
off. Yes,
Yep.
exactly. Folks, we're going to have a lot of basketball tonight. There will be a few things in there. We might take a look at the status of hockey now that the Olympics are over. Touch space with that a little bit. And then, well, I'll say one thing. JT, how about those Canadians? And
Oh,
the
the
curling,
second
the
place.
curling, yeah, yeah, the second place in hockey, yes.
Yeah. What a real shame. What a real shame.
I did
Better
not
luck
realize
next time, you know.
exactly. I did not realize the U.S. had not won the gold since 1980.
Cold War. Yeah. Since
I would have thought we would have won it at some point with our NHL players, but I guess not. So
well, no, because they all come from other countries to play in a league that is like nobody here really cares about. It's like the biggest payday for all those athletes from all those other countries.
yeah, I heard that most of the Canadian team are Russian. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, well, hey, well, let's get into it today. I do have a World Cup interesting story I'm going to share in just a second, but let's say hi to everybody in here. JT's got a bit of a surprise tonight because you remember last week he was at the Miami of Ohio Eastern Michigan game, which we will talk about Miami of Ohio specifically because they've been in the news this week, specifically with in reference to a former Auburn head coach. But let's say hi to everybody. Fallout Dave. Hey, great to see you, Fallout Dave. Welcome in. And I got your message tonight. I think it's awesome. Great work as always, Dave. I can't wait to unveil it. But hey, Buddy Hepburn, howdy, y'all. He's here. He's traditional Southerner. JT
Hello,
Kirk.
sir.
JT
Yeah.
Kirk's here too. Fallout Dave said, hockey, my Avs play in 30 minutes. So fortunately, I know what the Avs are. So
Avalanche. That stinky
I know.
team in Denver. Yeah.
I hate Denver, but that was the hardest city to get through and dirty. It's just, anyway. It followed Dave, the cheating Canadians and sore loser baby Canadians. Yes, the curling. Don't forget the curling, the double tap curlers. And it's Chewy. Chewy, how are you tonight? Good to see you
Hello.
with us.
Yep.
I will be going. I'll talk more about my plans tomorrow and over the weekend. I am finally excited about getting to see tournament basketball again. Although they had one, I had to explain it to you when we get there in just a second. Lemon pie, hello, citrus, howdy, sir, and fruitcakes. Yes, fruitcakes aplenty. Now let's see who else is here. We got it here. Let's see. Chewy's finishing seeing the games on FS1 with TCU, Texas Tech, CBS Sports Network, George Mason, VCU. Folks, I tell you, some of those smaller conference mid majors are very good basketball, very good competitions to see. All right, well, JT Kirk. Of course, we are in March. This is the first Tuesday of March. What does March bring? The NCAA men's basketball tournament. And
Uh,
what is number
I
four
thought you were
for
going to
women?
say Leprechaun Gold.
Well, or that, or somebody
Oh,
stabbing you back, though. You know, you
yeah,
can
yeah, that's
recreate.
true too.
You can recreate Julius Caesar in a park.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true too.
well, I
I
want to
didn't think
see
about that, but yeah.
when I
Mhm.
see 8 weirdos in togas stabbing a guy in a park. That's my policy to shoot first. They were actors, you moron. 8 good actors. I love that from Naked Gun. Golly, but hey,
Oh boy.
yeah. Well, we're in March. It means basketball's starting up. It is starting up here tomorrow in our town. I will talk about that a little bit. But let's go ahead. We're gonna. JT went to the Eastern Michigan Miami of Ohio game last week, and he's going to share some of it with us and some of our observations. So, and Chewy, if you keep putting your chats in there, I will star them, and we will come back to. We will definitely get to them as they go as we go through the show. Thank you for all that your input and. Oh, but he said, I think Stanford has a good basketball team, but he doesn't really care. Well,
Sure.
Stanford, though, is kind of that whole thing of you're the ACC. Now you're playing teams from across the country that you're not used to. Well,
Yeah, but
JT, yeah,
wins
go ahead.
or losses hurt you less and the better the conference you play in.
Yeah.
Because apparently the conference name is all that matters.
Yeah.
You'll see that in a bit. So, folks,
Okay.
one
All
of the
right.
things that we wanted to talk about was that I went on some deep undercover reporting and some scouting for Dadman himself last week. Actually, I was trying to go out on a date night with my wife, and then we had the babysitter cancel. So it was just me. It was going to be a Mr. and Mrs. Kirk outing, but
Yeah.
it turned into a good basketball event.
You
For
got
me
2
to
hot
do
dogs
all
and 2
this.
large drinks too, by the way.
Oh, yes, I did. So let me see here.
And what's
Share
funny about this
screen.
is the timing of this is going to be is in light of the recent news that has happened this week. But
Hmm.
we'll listen to you. So you got to go see Eastern Michigan. What is that? Kalamazoo or is that
Ypsilanti. So
Ypsilanti?
that is in Washtenaw County. That's
Mhm.
west of Detroit, about maybe 40
Okay.
miles, but it shares a border. Ypsilanti and Ann Arbor, Michigan, I believe, share a border. And so you have University of Michigan at Ann Arbor,
Yeah.
uh, boo, hiss, boo,
Yay.
hiss, basically right next to this other university. Um,
Yeah.
Interesting to say the least.
But,
However, I did share up the right screen. I just
oh,
wanted to show real
okay.
quick
I wanted to
just
make
to
sure you weren't
recap.
playing a video on that one because
No,
you
no,
know
no,
you
no
do
video on
because
this
of
one.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I made sure. Thank you.
By the
So,
way, and you
mhm.
get to see the 29-0 Miami Redhawks. I still call them the Redskins from before, but the Redhawks now they 29-0, a team that
Actually 30-0.
30-0 now.
If you
But
see
yeah,
here, yeah, they just played another game last night, I believe. So they have advanced to 30-0.
yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. So,
And they played Eastern, who down here is at 10-20 or
yeah,
4-13 in the conference. I don't know if they're the last place team. There might be one more underneath them, but I had seen them advance to 28-0 on this game. Spoiler alert, they obviously won. But I just wanted to
yeah,
show you some of the
yeah.
other talent they played.
Let me say one
Mhm.
thing real quick.
Sure.
Chewy, I my something was happening on weird on my Twitch side that affected my screen, but I've taken the emote only off, so I will now be able to post comments on the Twitch side. So, and now this is the team that's got a lot of
Mhm.
buzz behind it. Some questions, and we'll definitely talk about that because it's interesting. And you go ahead and talk about the event, and then I'll fill in
Yeah.
some questions
Yeah.
I've got with what
So
you've seen.
I'm just kind of highlighting out there. We have alumni in the family from Eastern Michigan. They have some good education programs, some good engineering programs, that kind of thing. Um, Good music department. They do actually, for not being like your Big Ten school in the state, they do have some very strong programs. So
Hmm.
um, in fact, I think Eastern, if you're like a teacher from Eastern Michigan, when you graduate and you get your Michigan teaching license, you basically can name a job in like 25 other states.
You just suck at football.
Well, yeah, so their athletic department's not all there. But I wanted to, why did I go watch this game? Well, outside of it being that component, I also got a chance to see a top 25. At that point, they were 21 in the country.
Mhm.
And how often do you see a team that even gets to their last 4 or 5 games completely undefeated? I mean,
Right.
it's a rare event to say the least. So,
Hmm.
like, okay, well, what am I going to get? Well, they beat Air Force, was I think one of their big teams they played against. Um, All State, Bowling Green, Western Michigan this year did not have a good team at all, but they oftentimes get to the dance
Right.
and they'll usually go far in the NIT. This year, I think Akron also was probably their other big competition. So where is Miami of Ohio? West Northwest, Metro Cincinnati, Ohio. So almost Kentucky. They have one more game against the University of Ohio before they lock up their 31 perfect schedule. So
Yeah.
um to that point, I was getting kind of excited where we go here, share this tab instead.
Okay.
So I don't know if I can make this. I could probably make it a little bit bigger. There. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay. So the game started at 6. So this is pretty typical all gray weather for that
6
time of
o'clock?
year.
That's a
Yes.
weird time. I mean, 6 o'clock. That just usually 7 o'clock, 7 or 7:30 here.
Yeah.
I mean, that was weird.
Oh, Chewy. Yeah, they're not a bad team. We'll get to my assessment of their play at the
Definitely
later on here.
Yeah.
So as you can see, the entrance here in Gate A for the basketball arena is sharing the entrance with the football stadium, which they call the factory. They have a dark gray to black field. Really, really cold this day, so I wasn't about to walk up there and try to take a bunch of pictures, but just so you can kind of see, that's where it was. Free parking, by the way.
Yay, that's always good.
So I think this is a better shot. It is at the George Gervin Game Above Center. And on
George Gervin. Yay.
Do you know who George Gervin is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Old NBA, famous NBA All-Star player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And not a bad facility, I must say. Clean. So I do actually. Do you want me to play the video with sound? I have the pep band playing.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't because of the music.
Okay.
You never know.
It's
what sucks with sports. You never know when you get claimed or strike. I know somebody got a strike today on something they did somewhere else, and it's like, but yeah, it's
so I took a shot and played the pep band from the side.
They put the band
is over there
behind the basket though.
They're to the right of the basket. If you're from their perspective, then the student section is to the left of the basket.
Gotcha.
I got there early. There's probably a better picture. So this here is the student section above where the band's playing. Quite a nice sousaphone section for Buddy Hepburn and maybe some of the other music people out there.
Yeah.
Pretty good. They were able to drown out everybody but the lower range saxophones here in the front, which really made me happy. Yeah. So let me see here. There we go. Sorry about that being loud, folks. Just some more music playing there. You can see where my seat is. This is where I'm sitting, ladies and gentlemen.
You're right.
That is the Miami of Ohio bench right there. So we'll see it in other pictures. Yeah, here's the next picture. Nice. This is my seat. That's the Miami of Ohio team warming up on the other side. Wow. Yeah. So the first row were some coaching staff that didn't get to sit in these seats. This second row was the women's basketball team.
Yeah.
Then the guy that sat next to me, because he had like the first 6 seats here in the third row, and then they sold the rest of them out. I sat next to the athletic director for the school.
No,
I didn't let him know that I looked him up because he said, yeah, I didn't go on the bus with them. I'm like, wow. Okay, so who is this? Are you the women's basketball coach? No. Second look. Oh, you're the athletic director. So I had a little bit of chat with him, nothing too big. Real nice guy, a real nice guy, right? He probably has been to a million of these games. He was still getting into the game. Happy to see him play. What else can you really ask for, right? He went up during bad weather on a Tuesday, probably 6-7 hour drive to go see this team play. Yeah. And he was a good sport about it.
Yeah, Buddy said it looked like a high school gym until you showed the tarped upper deck. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I noticed the seats go quite a bit up.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, our two universities here have one's my alma mater is just basically a friggin' glorified gym with the pull-out benches crap because they used
Hmm.
to play downtown at the arena, but as they moved down in conferences over the years, they used to be the big draw. They were in the NCAA playing with Artis Gilmore against UCLA in 1970, and now they just fell off and fell down in levels. And I watched it over the years. I mean, we're still decent in the late '80s, but yeah, they moved from a big arena downtown, which was the city's arena, to an on-campus facility. It was basically a gym. The University of North Florida, which I'll be tomorrow at, has about a 6,000 seat stadium. It's not as big as that though. It doesn't look like, but
Yeah.
it's a gym. It's like a high school gym, but it's a bit bigger. Probably one of your bigger high school types, but.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting to see that facility. Really nice looking facility, though.
Oh yeah, it is nice and it was clean. No weird smells or anything like that you're like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, the steps weren't super steep and all of that. So if I stood up, I'm 6'1". If I stood up, it's kind of hard to see. My eyes were almost eye level with the rim, which to me is
Yeah,
perfect to watch. But yeah, folks, for 2 tickets with a free hot dog and a free soda or
and free
pop
parking. Don't
and
forget it.
free parking,
Yeah,
$30 after tax
nice.
in fees, everything total. And I got that close. So in
Yeah,
terms of value, heck yeah. Um, just wanted to show this is kind of what you're looking at in terms of the scoreboard. I thought it was pretty high quality. I really
no,
did. So the venue was nice. Of course, it's not Michigan State or UNC or anything like that. At one point, it was kind of funny. They had the cheerleaders from Eastern come out, and I don't know what they were doing, but they were in the same spot as the other team, and I thought for sure someone was going to catch an elbow to the face.
oh
At one point,
man,
accident or not, I don't know, but this is less than 5 minutes before the start of the game. So say what you will.
man.
Now, take a look, and this is going to be a critique of this team. Take a look at how physically fit or how large or just what the players look like.
Hmm.
I am not a great tell of how old people look like anymore, I guess. These were all college kids, some probably close to 21, and they all look like babies to me. I mean, they looked so young. So I don't know, player by player, their age. When you go and look at a show, or a game with a top 10 team, don't those guys all look like they're losing their hair? They're going bald. They look like they're 35. They're
Yeah,
like all 8.5 feet tall. They've been to the gym more than they've slept. These guys, no, not at all. None of them. So here's
yeah,
another look at the team. I mean, this guy these look like kids to me. He looks a little older. He was real young looking. This 22 looked like he was nowhere near 22. 5 looked about his age. This guy right here looked about his age. Uh, you know, young team though. Not a lot of definition when they're working out. Not a lot of. I mean, this guy looked like he's never done leg day in the gym ever, not even once. So, yeah. Oh yeah, Deeple. I don't know where you are in Ohio, but
I think
Hale.
he's down towards Columbus, though. Being the
Yeah.
Ohio State, yeah, he's one of the people we give the early warning to when we're going to nuke Toledo from orbit.
Yep. And Hale to small
Uh,
time. So,
Small time Republic, yes. Oh, by the way, I hope small time stays around, especially when we talk about this. Being an Auburn fan, so
yeah, for those of you just joining, small time Deeple for 2 seats, 3rd row behind the bench, free parking, a hot dog, and a soda. 2 seats, $30 out the door. So, but you could just see how young this team looks.
Yeah.
they're crushing the MAC with
Yeah,
with no size, no bulk. You know, I don't know what.
We can talk about that too as the season goes, as the conference tournament goes. That comes to bite you a lot of times as you run deeper into the tournament and you play the bigger, more physical teams. Like you almost have to shoot lights out. You know, if you're a smaller team like that, and it can be done. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen who would have ever thought we'd have seen 16 seeds beat number 1 seeds, but we saw with Maryland, Baltimore County of Virginia, that one where Purdue lost. Also, I mean, so it can be done. It's
One thing they'll
a lot
have
more
is
difficult.
agility, right? If you got a lot of upper body mass, you
Oh
know.
my God. 1 second. I got to say, People says we recognize Miami of Ohio as the true Miami.
and Deeple, the tickets I got, I sat right next to the Miami of Ohio athletic director. And a nice guy, but he didn't know I knew who he was. That's not what it was about.
And you're right behind the bench there, obviously.
Oh, right. But Deeple, I sat right. The second row was the women's basketball team. They looked even younger. I'm like, did you guys even finish high school yet? Yeah. So maybe I'm just getting old, Dadman. I'm going to be 40 this year. I was like,
you're so old. You're so old. Just love to hear that.
So of course, I had to take a picture of Eastern because, my wife went there. So you get some pictures of Eastern in here.
Now, if she would have gone with you, she would have cheered for Eastern.
Oh, yes.
Who did you cheer for?
Well, so I didn't know I was going to be sitting behind the Miami of Ohio bench like that. I also forgot that I was coming right from work.
Yeah.
And a whole thing where it was just me at the last minute kind of thing. I didn't bring any green and white gear, even from Michigan State. I wore a red shirt at work that day. So it's like, at least I blend in.
Yes.
Because they had super fans. Yes. And I talked to a couple of the guys that were super fans. I don't think I have any pictures of them sitting on the other side of me. But they were like, well, why are you here? I'm like, well, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, and because they're a top 25 team. And like everybody in the section was like getting super amped about that. I'm like, well, congratulations, I guess. I don't know. I'm spoiled being Michigan State. I'm pissed if they're not like top 10 all the time, right?
Yeah. So
this is when you start seeing the game. These are the big matchups that, these are all the starters that are out there. Zero was about the only guy that was really worth anything out on the court for Eastern. And there you go. This was keeping everybody excited, staying in the game. I certainly
it was a pretty one-sided game though, the way it turned out, though. Right?
Yeah, it opened up like 12-0 in favor of Miami of Ohio, and Eastern never led the game. Yeah. This is a shot of the scoreboard going into halftime. Miami of Ohio, is this good? 44.4% field goal percentage.
It's pretty. It's better than average. They've scored 43 points and a half. It's not bad. I mean,
it was
anything
not
under 40. Yeah,
it was not phenomenal. Eastern 27.6. They did not score for the first 6 minutes of the game.
Wow.
Can you imagine playing in a team in basketball where you just start the game and you don't score for 6 minutes?
Yeah, it's a big hole. So, Chewy, thank you. Glad that folks checking out the stream. Folks, if you can tweet it out, do so, share it out. And appreciate all of y'all being here tonight. Appreciate it. And March is just going to get crazier as the madness builds.
So, this was kind of like just scouting the playoff team, right? Because I don't think that they have any room to deny that these guys shouldn't be in the tournament. That's actually my last picture of this. What I will say, let me put it back on, I guess, a picture of the court. What what I'll say is this: about three big observations. One, Miami of Ohio should have put them away by 30, 40 points, and they didn't do it. Second half, they got under a 40% shooting average for almost the entire second half. They were up like 25 and let Eastern come back within like 6 at one point.
Jeez, wow, that's a heck of a
that,
rally.
That is a heck of a rally that you let the other team do. And you cannot do that in a tournament game.
No.
You will lose so bad. You'll not have that chance to come back.
That's interesting though, because see, I didn't think it was that close by looking at the final results, but that's the problem is if you get down so far and trying to come back, usually most times you run out of steam. I remember one time the Gators last year, even though they won the national title, played at Georgia. They fell down like 20 something points.
Yeah,
they rallied, took a 1-point lead with under a minute left in the game, but they couldn't defend the 3-point line, and the guy hit it, and they ended up losing at Georgia that year. So it's really hard coming back from that point, especially this time of year. But rallies can happen. Rallies are there. And,
right. Second observation: neither one of these teams could shoot the ball, especially from outside the 3-point range. I think no matter where they were on the court, I think Eastern threw no less than 20 air balls. 20.
Wow.
20. It got embarrassing. It got downright embarrassing. At Miami, I think had about 8 or 9 complete air balls, like just not even close to the rim. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, that's when Michigan State comes back and makes that 2-point lead a 9-point lead in under a minute, because my third observation on this was not good enough defense. They did not push the rim. Eastern got way too many of their own rebounds, way too many, especially for a team that's at the bottom of your conference, that you really should not even be real competition for you at this point. So,
Buddy said, and there's a lot here. Basketball is now just a series of runs and effort and endurance level. Yeah, and Chewy acknowledges that. We're seeing that more and more. You wear teams down. I tell you what, the other thing is how deep does the bench go? Some coaches will expand the bench, and then especially towards playoff time, it's like they may go 7 deep or 6 deep. Really, which I don't think is good. I'd like an 8 to 10. I like about an 8-man rotation, maybe 9. If you can get that many, you got depth. You got like you talk about the endurance and stuff. Buddy said they make 20 to 30 point swings back and forth all game long. Yeah.
It was difficult to tell them apart on the court, whatever it was. For me, red and white made them all look very samey. I could tell everybody apart on Eastern pretty well. Could not do that with these red and white jerseys. Maybe because they all have this kind of haircut where you just want to take your razor to it, Dadman, and give them a real haircut. There's my old man coming in.
It's okay.
But the third observation is their defense, especially on the lack of rebounding strength. And really, I thought it was more of an effort, more than a skill or being out of position.
Yeah.
They just kind of let the ball go up and come down where it may. Now, maybe they're used to teams actually making baskets way more than 27.4% from the field.
Yeah, I was trying to find Miami of Ohio's team stats, but I got individual stats. So that's the one.
Now they had a couple. They had a couple good players in this game, but I was not impressed. At the end of the day, I was not impressed. It was certainly by Eastern, who I think a lot of that was coaching. But I'm not an NBA or a college coach.
Well, you talk about coaching, though. You talk about coaching. Miami of Ohio's coach threw a fit the other night because he was blaming the officials in a tight game that they escaped on the road with a last-second bucket. And he actually at halftime was storming off the court and actually pushed over some DJ's sound equipment.
Oh,
to
geez,
play.
that's not
Yeah,
acceptable.
exactly. What's not acceptable, like Small Time says here, it's hard to play elite defense when you only use a 6 or 7 man rotation. And I think that's what served the Gators last year. Their tournament run is they could play 9, 10 people really well, and I think I'll talk more about them hopefully a little bit later as they go. The teams that have shorter benches, I don't think that they're built for those runs. Now,
Now, this
foul trouble is the
bench,
biggest thing too that comes up with it.
this
Go ahead.
bench had what 12, 13 players sitting on it. Half of them never took their jacket off.
Right.
So you're looking at most a 10-man bench with the 5 sitting right here. I think 3 of them went in for any real length of time.
Yeah.
I mean, the other 2 probably did. This is their top 5 bench right here that you can see in this picture. I know Perry played a good amount, and the guy to his left played a good amount.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
No, well, thank
Number
you.
0 here, I think, was supposed to be their big. Did not do a very good job. So he just didn't. You know, these guys, they're not that old. They can have off nights too. But not when it's in the tournament, because then that's the last game of your season. Oh,
Nope,
yeah.
not at all.
Yeah. So anyway, do you want me to go show any pictures again, or did you?
I know. I think you did a good
Good
job.
enough?
We're about
Okay.
30 minutes. We're 30 minutes in, so we can move around a little bit. Thank you, JT, for sharing that. I don't know how I'll be able to share whatever happens with me tomorrow. Starts the Atlantic Sun Conference tournament in Jacksonville, and yes, It's weird. They don't do like the NCAAs where they play like a morning session and then the evening session starts at 7. They're actually doing like 12, 2:35, and then 7:30. So they're like back to back. So I will get home before midnight. What I love with the NCAAs is that evening session starts at 7:30. So you're getting home at midnight. I love the 12 hours of basketball. But then again, I watched all 3 Lord of the Rings extended edition director's cuts in the theater last year. So
yeah,
I just get food, sit back, and just enjoy the environment. Like you said, to summarize, a great MAC team, fun team to watch, nice, cordial staff, fans, not a Cinderella team for March, which leads us to
exactly.
Small Time Republic. Yes, I would go. That's why I swore up and down that I always griped and complained that they did home and home or like home campus crap in this conference. And now they finally moved the headquarters here. So I'm like, dude, I got to go. I'm glad that they put every team in and you seed it and you do it. And it's what I've been
wow. It's way over in Pensacola.
Yeah.
Okay.
His is, but he's over in the Mobile area, which is not far for him.
Right.
Yeah. He's pretty close to Mobile. So, but yeah, let's see here. Go start this one. Okay. Tomorrow we'll have 3 games. Actually, no, before we get back, I just jumped myself to the tournament because I want to get this summary here that you threw in here. I will get back to this Atlantic Sun in a second because we want to spend time on this very, very important issue. Great MAC team, fun game to watch, nice cordial staff and fans, not a Cinderella team for March. I'm going to bring that in on top of what Small Time Republic said right here. And Small Time Republic is an Auburn fan. He said if Miami of Ohio runs the table except for the conference tournament, it would be a shame to exclude them from the NCAA. What has happened this week was Bruce Pearl, he's not the only one, but the big name that has said this has said that if Miami of Ohio does not win its conference, they should not get in the NCAA tournament. Bruce Pearl's former coach of Auburn, and he was also using Auburn's strength of schedule or wins to say Auburn deserves it, which we just see that Auburn's barely 500 at 15-14, which gets to an issue we talked about before. And like with Chewy, we've talked about how many daggum teams should the SEC or the Big Ten get in just because they're a bigger conference. Yeah, these smaller conferences may not win the tournament, but the point is that they've earned it. They've earned the right to compete. Does a 15-14 Auburn team really deserve to be in the NCAA tournament? What do you think? And what do you think about Bruce Pearl's comments about this 30-0 team loses to maybe a team with a losing record in the conference tournament, gets eliminated? Is it justifiable to keep them out at regardless of whatever conference?
Well, look, they're the MAC, like I said, has other teams that get in every year. They are not, some community college basketball league. You and I cannot walk on that court and have any prayer at even scoring a basket, right? These guys still have talent. It's just not quite at that same level.
Mm-hmm.
If you have less than 2 losses and you're the conference champion, you should be able to go.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many slots. This isn't college football where it's, the 12 or 14 or whatever number they're going to keep gradually changing it to.
Yeah.
There's so many spots. That makes me even wonder why they have an NIT, right? Because there's so much basketball to play, especially with these play-in rounds up in that number even more. They need to put them in. You don't need losing record teams in your tournament. Enough of that. Enough of that. No one wants to see a loser, and it's a waste of time to play a number 1 seed team with you as the loser.
See, I'd submit that a 15-14 Auburn, or say a 17-14 Texas team, or a middle of the road ACC Clemson team, if they're not going to win the national titles, why put them in? Why not reward one of these teams that have had a great season? And it happens all the time. A 29-2 team gets upset by a 10-20 team in the tournament, in the conference tournament, and that little team at 10-20 gets the automatic invite, and the other team is relegated to the NIT. One of the things that they've done with the NIT, though, is if you win your regular season in your conference, though, if you lose in your tournament, you're guaranteed at least an NIT appearance if you don't make the big dance. So it's
right.
That I thought was a change that I thought was really, really good. Chewy is saying that Miami is good, but the wins they have are not against teams who will be seen in the tournament next year. Challenge themselves, and we agree with that. But like you said here, still 31-0 is 31 wins. Yeah. And I tell you, I don't like the committee. I don't like the committee and what they do. We see that favored in the football too.
And Buddy brings up a great. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Let me finish with Chewy's point. We'll work down. But it's like, what is it? What does Texas deserve to be in it? What does Auburn deserve? The middle of the pack teams. You never know. I mean, we've had highlights of just miracles that have happened, even if it's a round or two. Then again, we've seen the Loyola Chicago make big runs. George Mason, the year the Gators won a national title back in the mid-2000s, made the Final Four. Mm-hmm. So, it can happen. And that's what makes March Madness exciting, is the possibilities and the thoughts. This just in. 19th ranked Miami, Ohio escapes with a 74-72 win over Toledo.
74.
They obviously did not. Yeah, they obviously didn't nuke Toledo at all from orbit. But but that goes to the question. Yeah. It is a valid question. You're struggling with these little teams. Why should you get in the tournament?
Well, you are the big game of the year on their schedule.
Yeah, and I think that makes
you
a lot
have to play that every week, even if they're not that great. Yeah. 2 things on this. Buddy was saying that everyone.
We'll catch down here. I want to get Small Time Republic. We're good. That way I can stay organized.
Mm-hmm.
You go 8-10 in the SEC or Big Ten, you should not get in over a 1-loss mid-major team. See, I agree with that. Texas, Clemson, they're not going to go for it. I mean, when Clemson was not good, I think they're better now than they have been. But like the Texas, the Georgias, I mean, Georgia is pointless with Mike White as their head coach. He's a former Gator coach. That it just I agree with Small Time right there, because at least be 500 in your conference. So is this the comment that you
Yeah.
wanted to say here? Yeah, go ahead, JT.
No, well, he had the next one down.
All right.
That he
Oh
had.
yeah, and we'll get there. Okay. Bubble teams, big conference tournaments are starting this week, and even the bigger conferences are coming down to the end. And yeah, all these games matter at this point. Let's see. Okay, is this the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which everyone wants the upset, which is why you might pick an Auburn or you might pick a Clemson or one of these teams. And okay, I don't have the numbers in front of me that would say picking a team with a losing record in a bigger conference is any better of a chance at an upset than Miami of Ohio would. Maybe there is a big difference. I just don't have that data. What I was going to say is that I think people want to see a Cinderella team more than just an upset game. I mean, yes, I want an upset game, sure. That makes it so we don't just all bet on the number one teams to be in the Final Four, right? Because that wouldn't be any fun either. But I think what really makes the tournament more exciting are Cinderella teams that go far, and when you don't let them have a chance to even be in it because you want some underperforming team in another conference to get in. And look, here's what really did college football in. College football is so stagnant. In so many ways, it is so stagnant. Why? Because every year you just keep giving the benefit of the doubt to an Alabama and a Georgia and an Ohio State and a Notre Dame. I mean, every year you just expect these same teams to do all the same stuff. And I think the bowl system hampered a lot of that. I think the bowl system rewarded bad teams in bad programs year after year. And so you didn't get Cinderella teams very much. You didn't get an Indiana very often until the tournament started to make some churn. And there's still a long way to go in college football. So that's why I like college basketball having such a big bracket, although maybe it's a hair too big.
This comment here, I agree with Small Time. The basketball committee is better run than the football committee.
Oh, yes.
I agree with that.
Yes.
So. And Chewy can answer to my point about Texas. The ranked wins against Bama, Vanderbilt, and swept Texas A&M. Yeah, I get it. You got to look at those quality wins and stuff like that with these types of teams in this type of situation. These teams have, I don't know. I just like the idea of the little guy getting more of a shot with things like that.
Yeah, which is why we would root for Vanderbilt all the time.
Exactly.
At least I would. I know you couldn't quite get over some of that, but being an SEC guy, but I was like, oh, come on.
Small Time said Auburn doesn't tip off to 9 cheese. Yep, exactly. And Mr. Angel's here. Hey, Mr. Angel, a way too early good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, exactly. Chewy said Cinderella teams can win games, but if you think they get the national title and win, easier said than done. Butler was close to a decade plus ago. San Diego State was there a few years ago. Exactly. Small Time said the CFP is 100% chasing rankings.
Ratings.
Yeah.
Oh, agreed.
No. This type of stuff you have to look at competition. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Julie says that the two bad losses if they lose to LSU, Auburn will have to beat Alabama in the season finale, or otherwise they need to steal a bid and win 5 games in 5 days in the tournament. And do you want them to even do that? Because you need to get hot at just the right time. And if you have a team that wins 5 games in a row in that tournament, I hope they get some good rest, because that just makes the real tournament that much bigger.
I've seen it happen. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to change the subject a little bit, but
real quick to the point is that so many times you watch these teams, they get hot in the tournament, but day 4, that Saturday, they struggle if they don't lose, and then if they have anything left, they don't perform well in the championship game. So.
Sure. And I was going to say, look, you have all these basketball programs that started from nowhere and became something and became a name. And then you have other names that have basically fallen off the edge of stuff. Like I know they're well more established now, but once upon a time, Gonzaga was like this Cinderella team.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that era, Dadman?
Yep.
Where people were like, how do you even say the name of that school?
Yeah.
And Georgetown was huge at that time. Now, well, both of these teams might not be much of anything, but Georgetown fell off. Gonzaga might have fallen back off over time, but you get so much more churn and interest, and that's what makes the tournament special. I don't want to see these loser teams in. I really don't.
And see, that's
unless they're all going to play Michigan State, and then yes, I'll play all the loser teams in my bracket, so we can get MSU to the Final Four.
Some small time saying that Auburn will be lucky to be in the NIT. Exactly. I that's why I think they're a loser team. They shouldn't be in the. I even think Georgia's got a good record, but I know their coach. They just was taken up from a spot from a team that really has had a good season, and that's a good team. So. Talk about teams getting hot, man. I tell you what, we're going to look at the projected brackets a little bit, but at halftime, Ole Miss is leading Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has come back to the pack. One of the better teams in the SEC early in the year is struggling. I mean, they're almost about to fall out of the top 25. But who is hot? The Florida Gators win at least 10 games in a row now. They're up 97-66 on Mississippi State. So. I could talk more about the Gators. The thing I like with them is that they're getting hot at the right time. Big winning streak. The big men are dominating, and the guards are playing better. And at this time you really got to have some good guard play. Like Florida was spoiled last year with their set of guards, but these guards have improved. But still, I always wait for them to fall apart. But hey, Tim is here. Tim, good to see you. They want the big name schools. It brings them money. Yes, we'll bring them into, exactly. So let's take a look at some of these other games real quick. Let's take a look at some of the comments we got there, and this we can address them. So let's see. Because Chewy said earlier, if it holds, TCU gets a key road win at Texas Tech. VCU keeping hopes alive in the bubble talks. This past weekend was good for New Mexico, but not for others. Yeah. I tell you what, a lot of these teams they need some of the larger conference teams to lose, have those embarrassing losses. Yeah. Later in the chat, I'll bring 2 cents on the ending of San Diego State, New Mexico. It was not the final score I had a problem with. It was how CBS handled the game down the stretch. What happened in this game? I believe it was New Mexico wins this game at a buzzer beater, but and if I'm not correct, Chewy, please correct me. They cut off with about a minute left in the game to switch to a game that had just started. Yeah.
You never do that. Come on.
Yeah. Because see, here's what Chewy's saying. After around the 30 seconds left, maybe after a TV timeout, in Houston, they jumped to the start of Texas Tech Iowa State game, and sequences were missed. Only then they returned to the first game with less than a second left, and he said it was disrespect to the Mountain West, but a good win for New Mexico. That's my thing is if you're going to give these smaller conferences play airtime, you got to play them. Give them the attention that everybody else gets.
Right.
So.
Now, while you're working on the back end, if I switch over to standings in the Big Ten real quick, Michigan did clinch.
Did I show this one earlier? I don't know if I should have. Chewy said Miami is not a bad team.
Yeah, I think you did. That's a while back.
So there's only one other comment real quick. Chewy, TCU got a key road win against Texas Tech. TCU did more than enough to be in the big dance. Anything in Big 12 improve your seedings now. Right now, and I'm going to talk about that with Florida really soon. This people have always wondered about this. Do you think the networks have any say who's in or who's out? Don't know. It just depends. Go ahead, JT.
So, looking in Big Ten land, which is where a lot of the teams that you'll see rated and seeded very highly. Michigan did clinch with a win this past week. They're 17-1 in the conference with 2 games remaining.
Mhm.
They have Nebraska and Michigan State at 3 games back. So they officially won the Big Ten conference for this year. However, Michigan State has a chance at coming in a very close second. They have Rutgers at home, who they'll demolish. And then they have Michigan on the road in Ann Arbor. Now, Michigan State, the last 10 games, they've lost 3, but they are 2-1 against top 10 teams. They beat Illinois and Purdue, and I think they lost. Who'd they lose to? Oh, they lost to Michigan. So they're going to have revenge on Michigan, who's ranked number 3 right now.
Right.
And so Michigan State could end the conference play at potentially 26-5 or 25-6. So, nothing to sneeze about there. Nebraska has surprised me quite a bit.
Yeah.
They really have. They also have not played nearly the number of ranked opponents. They've played 4 all year, and all of those were in the Big Ten. They've played nobody. So if Michigan State passes them up in seeding, it's for a reason. Because they've lost to every ranked opponent they've played this year. It looks like on the schedule. So anyway, just something to consider. If you're looking at the Big Ten thinking who is really, really good, I would put them at Michigan State as 1 and 1A, no matter how the game ends, coming up next week. And then after that, I would say Illinois as number 3 and Purdue as number 4.
Okay. Small Time said, how about a Michigan State national title game?
Oh, that would be nuts, but I guarantee you they would never seed it that way. Best you would get is the Final Four.
Yeah.
They, for whatever reason, they don't want to see that, probably because of ratings.
Yeah.
It's too many people in the state of Michigan. So they'll even put us in the same bracket just so that way the best you would get is an Elite 8 out of it, but I would love, oh my gosh, I would love to see that national title game.
Yeah. Chewy said New Mexico wins. What happened Saturday? New Mexico wins by 5 points. So in the missed 30 seconds, Lobos are up by 3. Aztecs missed a 3, but after said miss, refs on New Mexico possession caught a foul on the Aztecs, gave New Mexico 2 free throws, win the game 81-76, and only did CBS go back with less than a second left. There's nothing more frustrating than that. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, that's the status in the Big Ten. All right. Let me. I know I started earlier talking about it. Let's see here. I'm going to jump back to what I'm going to be doing starting tomorrow. I mean, it's really weird. They got 3 games at one school. They put the night game at another school across town for whatever reason, but it's like, and there's 2 separate ticket prices. So it's like,
yeah,
it's not, it's crazy. But anyway, where I'm going to is like I said, the first round games are on the campuses of 2 of the local schools. Well, then they're going to move it to the downtown arena, which I think is really, really cool. But it's the Atlantic Sun, folks, where they're led by Central Arkansas. I think that was Scottie Pippen's old school. The Bears, 20-11 this season. Austin Peay Governors at 21-8. Look, this team, I don't like Austin Peay, and they're going to get beat in this tournament because they play 6 players, maybe a 7th. When I watched them play UNF, they did not rotate. They were really close to the vest. And what's weird is I actually got to see a Chris Webber national title game in person because the game was tied. It was under 2 seconds, and Austin Peay called a timeout with no timeouts. So technical foul. UNF gets 2 free throws, they only hit 1 or 2. Now,
Mhm.
what I did not realize, and I don't know if it's always been this way, but I thought technicals, no matter what they were, always went to the other team. If you commit to technical, you don't get the ball back, is what I thought. But I guess what happened is they traded it as a timeout. UNF got 2 free throws, but then Austin Peay retained the ball. So they just drop back, throw it down court. I swear, everybody it's like everybody ran away from the ball. One guy catches it and just turns immediately to throw it in the basket. That's crazy. So, yeah, go Nads, Fallout Dave. There you go. The go Nads. So, like I said, we got Austin Peay. Queens. This conference is from the south up to New York. It's weird. One year they had Northern Colorado. Another year they had New Jersey Institute of Technology. So, but then you got Lipscomb and Florida Gulf Coast. We got West Georgia, Eastern Kentucky, the Colonels. Bellarmine, which is a school from up north, was interesting. They are now moved up to the Division I level a few years ago. Well, the first year they were eligible for the conference title tournament. They won the tournament even though they were ineligible for NCAA play. The conference got no postseason representation. Yeah, yeah. Timeout Tech. Yeah, he didn't learn much.
Now, all these schools are really small, are they not?
Yes, they really are.
Because I don't know if I've honestly ever heard of any of them outside of Austin Peay.
Yeah, Stetson's down in DeLand. That's a really cool, nice. I love the town of DeLand. It's really nice. We actually went to a JU game there once. JU struggled this year. What's funny is UNF is playing tomorrow night on JU's campus in that night game, and JU's playing on UNF's campus at noon. It's all because of seating. I do not have a clue. I have no clue exactly why that happened. It's Stetson has a very fancy campus. My kid looked at going there at one time, but we didn't. They had a better option locally. They had a much better option locally. Chewy may leave the chest in a bit, but ball action concerns. Yeah. See, that's the thing is, folks, and Chewy really talks about the mid-majors and all. There's a lot of the stuff happens with who gets in tournament at these levels. Boise had a 34-27 lead over San Diego State. Otherwise, Aztecs cannot lose to UNLV and need a strong MW Mountain West Conference tournament showing. Because what happens there can control how many seeds a lower division conference gets. And like I mentioned, Bellarmine was not eligible, but they let him play for the conference title, which floored me. Like, why are you going to let somebody do this to play for that? Well, I didn't go to the women's games. The women's tournament started today, and there'll be Thursday. What I did was I got the men's tickets for tomorrow for 3 games. And I'll get my 4 games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, and then 1 on Sunday. So, but looking at this, I hope to bring some pictures and all. I love college basketball. I was hoping it was midnight to midnight, but they don't do an evening session. They just keep running, and it's like, but I'm excited. I'm excited for it because it's been a long time having this much college basketball at one time.
All right. Right.
Yeah. So hopefully I can bring some pictures back and other things, and we'll see how it goes.
Let's see who's a better photographer on their phone.
Probably you. You got a better phone though too.
Well, I don't know about that, but
yeah. North Florida 7-24. It's like they're playing.
Well, you'll have fun.
West Georgia Waves.
You'll have fun. You get out near the court and things get exciting.
Yes, exactly. Bellarmine sounds like an institution you get committed to. Yes, exactly. The only problem is the food's not going to be that great tomorrow at the UNF gym, but at least there'll be something because I was hoping they'd take it like a.
There's one school on that list that sounds too naughty to even say.
What, Queens?
No, the L one.
Oh my gosh! Yes, we will have to say it's Lipscomb. Yes, my kids always have fun pronouncing that. Lipscomb.
We'll just say the Bisons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay.
lip. My kids were mocking it. Of course, they didn't know a lot, but I mean, but it was funny. Lip scum. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But of course, if you don't remember, Florida Gulf Coast made a run back in the 2000s. Really ran deep in the tournament till they ran into the Florida Gators, who dispatched them. So it'll be interesting. No, I'm not being naughty. I'm not being naughty. If you
It's hard to
you can
say the name of that
well
school.
because you put your heads in the wrong place. But lip scum. Anyway, but it's all good. Take a quick look at the Southeastern Conference, and then we'll do a quick looking at the projections because we need to get out in about 27 minutes.
Yeah.
So tonight was going to be a very heavy focus on basketball, college basketball, with the tournaments coming up this next week. Into next week, the Gators have now won the SEC regular season flat out, with Alabama's recent loss and the Gators winning tonight over Mississippi State. Gators move up to probably 25. Let's see, looks like no, they already moved up 24-6, 15-2 in the conference. So they will have the top seed going into the SEC tournament. We've got the Gators as the top seed, obviously, at this point. Looks like Alabama and Arkansas and Tennessee are fighting it out for second. I tell you what, Florida just demolished Arkansas the other night. They had too much size. They had they ran with them. And just the thing about this Gators team, this is the second game in a row they scored over 100 points. They've actually scored 100 points. It was in the 90s a lot recently. They're hitting three-pointers. They're shooting at a high percentage. Tonight, the free throw shooting was a little bit off. They've won 10 games in a row. Be followed by the rest of the conference. Of course, Ole Miss, LSU, and South Carolina are in the bottom. Just amazing. This should be a good tournament next week. Texas at 18-11. Kentucky 19-11 with a $20 million payroll. Earlier this season, they were up near the top. Look at them at 9-7.
Well, yeah, they had to play their own conference, and how well did they do?
Well, they went
9-4.
Well, they went 9-4 outside the conference, which for Kentucky is not very good either. But but $20 million. What the heck did you buy for $20 million? Not much. So, all right. So that's the standings in the SEC. We're going to take a look real quick. Let me get over the right screen. Let's see. I want to take a look at. No, actually, at this point in the season, I don't really even care about polls.
I was going to say, I don't think the polls are very good. Anyway, I think there's 3 teams that they totally got wrong.
Which ones are
for the ranking they have? Well, okay, so number 1 is Duke, number 2 is Arizona. Those 2 teams are dangerous as hell. They've beaten everybody that they've come across and done a phenomenal job. I would be terrified to play either one of them. Michigan at number 3, yeah, that's great. Number 4, UConn, no, they're just putting them there because of their conference. Number 5 at Florida, no, they're a top 10 team. I think they're only 5th because of the SEC. You have Iowa State at 6, fair. 7, Houston, fair. 8, Michigan State, maybe a little bit high, but fair.
Do you want
Nebraska,
to bring up the screen since you go down?
Sure.
JT, since you go
down. Yeah, it'll be real quick. It's real quick. So, yeah. Okay.
So did you say you think Florida is too high at 5?
I did. I would put them, if you want to share up.
That? Yeah, I'm waiting for it to pop up here.
Yep. It should be there for you.
There you go. It finally.
I think that they have losses to lost to Missouri, lost to TCU, lost to Auburn. I don't think they've played enough tough teams to be considered number 5.
Well, they
I
also
just
lost to
don't.
UConn and Duke early in the season, very close losses. So
They
I think if
they
you look at their
did, and
overall resume, that they deserve
they
it.
got
But
blown
they
out
just
by Arizona. So
well, no, it was no, they did not get blown out. That was the score at the end was a little wider. They
okay,
actually led Arizona for quite a bit. That was the first game of the season. I was actually impressed. And I will say that even that Missouri loss and that Auburn loss, it was a different. This is a different team. This team is gelling and getting hot right now. The guards are actually playing well, and that's been my biggest problem with them. Is Boogie Flan from Mississippi State and Xavier Lee from like Harvard or Princeton or something.
mm,
They were getting schooled against UConn and Duke, and yet they still remain competitive with the big men that they've got. Uh, with Chinaloo
I
and Condon. I mean,
look.
Condon is
I
actually
would.
not playing like bad like he did last year.
I'd probably put them at 7. Like it's not a major beef. I just don't think they're 5. Okay.
Okay. But they are on the
UConn,
2 line. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, UConn, totally wrong, totally wrong. Um, I don't think they've played a schedule commanding that. Michigan State, maybe a little high, but fair. Nebraska, totally wrong. That schedule is weak. Texas Tech, I don't know who you're going to get, which Texas Tech
Yeah.
at all. I think this is a drastic overrating to get the Big 12 in there. And then Illinois, I think they are underrated. I really do. I think they're underrated. I think they should be in the top 10 discussion. But like you said, at this point, it's more about the bracket than it is about the rankings. But as we're going into this part of the season, I would like to point out that it's Florida is the only SEC team in the top 10. And then I'm looking down for the next one. You got to go all the way to 16 for Alabama to get to the next one.
And Alabama, I tell you, is questionable. Florida
7
destroyed,
losses. Yeah.
Yeah, and Florida destroyed the hell out of them. Alabama is not deep in the big, the front court. Florida had their way with them, and especially after the judge ruled against the injunction against the player to stay in college. They've been, I mean, they've had a couple wins though, but Georgia beat them big tonight. But I know the last game they had depth problems in the front court, which really caught them. Which really gave them problems. So no wonder they wanted a professional big man.
Yeah.
But
no, this is going to shift. Miami of Ohio will move up with 2 or 3 more wins.
Yeah,
2 more wins to finish that out.
now
Someone else is going to lose
It'll be
in here.
interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see where they actually seed Miami of Ohio. Do you put them at a low 12 seed or 11 seed like they usually do from a Mid-American conference, or do you actually put them in a 6 or 7 seed?
Good question. I'd love to see them play another middle team to maybe get them into a second round, but that's being generous to them, where I don't know if you really do that or not. Right.
I like what Small Time said here. Nebraska good in basketball, Indiana good in football. The Hadron Atomic Collider broke our current timeline. Yes. I agree. And don't forget, you got Vanderbilt in football that nearly made the freaking playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Buddy said to you, JT, Mark D with a C wants a word about UConn.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. And we can have that conversation. Because I can just pull up their schedule, and they lost to Arizona. They squeaked by against Florida, and then that's the last great team. The last top 10 team they played was Arizona back in like November. So, they have not played anyone.
But he said Indiana has only one unicorn, Larry Legend, and that's Indiana State, the Sycamores. Yeah, he played at Indiana State. And you remember the national championship game when he faced Magic Johnson with your Sparties back before you were born, JT.
Yeah, I know, right?
God,
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm so freaking
79,
old. I don't even remember that
79 you
game. It was
talking
like
about?
79. Yep.
Yeah, with
Yep.
Magic Johnson. Yep.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, let's take a look at this, and we'll probably wrap up after this. Because we'll get a chance to look at the brackets. According to Joe Lenardi, updated this morning at 9 a.m., top overall seed would be Puke. Indiana is the last team getting in. First team out would be Auburn. We talked about Auburn's problems and lack of resume this year. Uh, so, uh, so all right, and Lenardi talks about the whole debate about Miami and Auburn. But still, I think you reward the team that's
Yeah. Yeah.
had the better season. All right, let's look at the bracket. These are projected in the East Regional in the Greenville Pod. Remember, folks, these the first.
We're not seeing it yet, Dadman.
Oh, shoot. Thank you. In the first two rounds, they go
There
to
we
the
go.
pods, which even though they're East or Midwest, they're playing in cities. It'll jumble between teams and other brackets. So, of course, Greenville they're projecting Central Arkansas to win the Atlantic Sun. Duke would take them, St. Louis and Iowa, both sliding down in positions.
That's going to be a jailing, if you know what I mean. Duke by like 70.
Yeah, Duke is good. It's not like Virginia #1 getting beat. Well, who knew Purdue losing that year? That was crazy. So, all right. Over in the Midwest, since this put it out this way, we're going to go top down. Midwest bracket, the Midwest regional that'll be in Chicago. Top ranked Michigan in the Buffalo Pod playing against 16th Howard and Bethune-Cookman. This is a historical black college matchup here. Playing in at the 16th seed here.
Now, be careful with this, Dadman. Michigan's #1. If Michigan State beats them in the conference, Michigan will still win the conference. But then you have the Big Ten tournament.
Yep.
Michigan State could still beat them twice, and then have enough wins, enough quality wins. They could move up from #8 into the top 4 and take this spot from Michigan, which is, of course, exactly what I want to happen. So just pencil in an ST after that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Of course, they project UCF Central Florida at an 8 seed with NC State at a 9 seed, actually slipping down a little bit. And by the way, as we go through these, keep making your comments like you did with that one. We'll comment on these pods as we get to them. Also, let's see the East playing in Portland. That's punishment to Tennessee, sending them out as a 5th seed to Yale. See, I'm going to love when they have the actual brackets because they'll be interesting to pick potential upsets and stuff. Because see, if this played out, I could see a 12 seed taking off Tennessee. Tennessee has struggled at times massively this year. Gonzaga's would be the 4th seed with UNC Wilmington coming in at the 13th seed. Over in Portland in the Midwest would be 5th ranked. See, another one. I think both of these 5 seed SEC teams are very vulnerable. Liberty has had a history of some good performances in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this played out, there are two where a lot of the upsets happen in 12 versus 5. And then, of course, Virginia and California Baptist, which I'd never heard of before. But
I'm rooting for UNC Wilmington against Gonzaga.
I don't blame you. I would do it too. Any other thoughts about these projections?
The question will be which one Tennessee or Vandy folds first.
Yeah,
I think Tennessee will have more problems.
True, they've struggled a lot this year.
Yeah, and I think they'll have a problem with Yale.
Actually,
if this matchup were to happen,
Kentucky's beaten them twice this year, which has caused concerns. So, all right, other pods here. We've got St. Louis, which would be in the East, and then Louisville, Santa Clara, Ohio State playing in a play-in game. And of course, Iowa State and North Dakota State would be a 3-14 matchup. Then over in Oklahoma City, 6th ranked North Carolina, against another 11 seed play in New Mexico, Indiana. While Nebraska and UC Irvine would be projected in Oklahoma City. Any thoughts on this one?
Oh boy. Ain't it great to hate Ohio State? Yes, yes, it is.
That I agree with. Nothing but love, Deeple. You're a good dude out there. You really love having your input and you being around. But yeah,
yeah, he
there's
knows.
always
He knows. Well, he wouldn't expect anything else out of me. Come on. He would think that something was wrong with me.
Exactly.
Nebraska, I don't think will be 3 in there. I think they're a fake team. They might be the loss to UC Irvine to the
This
14.
is why we love having you around, Deeple. It's okay to hate OSU football. But yeah, but he's come through. He's like the first round playoff game is like, okay, well, no, the last game against Michigan. Well, we got our first real game of the year,
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Why hate Ohio State basketball?
It's not the same. There's not the same level there at all.
That's interesting, buddy. I did not know that Larry had actually played under Bobby Knight. Wow. But yeah, I do remember him famously from Indiana State. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the first NCAA championship game, just like the A Train Artist Gilmore did for Jacksonville University. So Depot said they have one championship from before TVs. There you go.
This, all right, let's look. This one, I don't think you're going to see Ohio State and Indiana in there. No. That's way too much Big Ten in that bracket. Indiana and Nebraska right there. I don't know.
But then again, when you're having 10 teams from the SEC and the Big Ten projected, you're going to have matchups.
You will, and I don't like it.
But used to they had them before to where they wouldn't do it any earlier than the quarterfinals. But it can't nowadays with as many teams.
I think Louisville will mop up that bracket anyway.
Okay. Villanova and TCU, Michigan. You're Sparty and Wright State. Wright State's near Detroit, right? Or is that Indiana?
Oh gosh, I think that's in Indiana.
Okay.
It's not around me, I can tell you that.
Well, it'd be in Buffalo, and also projected Oklahoma City, Wisconsin, and a 10th seeded Texas, with Houston, the Cougars coming back against Portland State. Thoughts with these games?
Wright State is from Fairborn, Ohio, or if I take out my Aussie accent, from Fairburn, Ohio. Let's see. Sorry, you wanted projections on Buffalo and Oklahoma City?
Yeah, just
Michigan State walking away with that group, and then
Houston will walk away than the other.
I think so. I was looking at maybe Wisconsin, but they, I think, are high at a 7 ranking. They've been disappointing, really disappointing. I think for that group. Texas, I think, has good upset potential on them.
Okay. It will be interesting to see. So now we have the South and the West. South will be the Houston Regional, and San Jose will be the West. Of course, South got UConn playing a 16 playing game. Long Island and Maryland, Baltimore County. Well, if Maryland, Baltimore County made it, that would not. UConn's not what Virginia was. They could not score.
Well,
hey,
I'm rooting for Long Island for our good friend Admiral Teague.
Well, that's
even
good.
Though he's in Queens. But then fake Miami is playing Georgia.
You got to tell him. You got to tell him about Queens College or Queens whatever that's in the Atlantic Sun.
Yeah,
that's funny. Now this should be a football matchup: Miami and Georgia.
It should.
Miami, Georgia. I still don't think that they'll win. I'm not.
Fake Miami versus Georgia.
Yeah, but that's actually a decent idea. But
that's a tough one to call.
But neither one will face a chance. Maybe Miami having a better record, but there's just no chance either one will take on UConn. Which UConn's now is
soft, but this year to be put there, that's a soft team. I don't think they're going to have much competition here, though.
Right. At least in this part of the bracket, we'll see who's the second seed in this bracket. Over in the West would be Arizona at a 1 seed, to Tennessee State, Of course, Clemson and Missouri. Oh God. That's an ugly game.
I think Arizona sits most of their starters against Tennessee State,
Yeah.
and then they put whoever's next away by like 30.
Yep.
Out of those two teams, especially if they play Clemson. There's just a weird feeling I have about that. Like maybe they're uniquely matched up to just really run the table on them.
No, I agree. I gotcha. Next, San Diego pod with Arkansas and South Florida. That could be a possible another 12-5 upset.
USF.
Yep. Texas Tech, Stephen F. Austin. Over in the Tampa would be St. John's, Belmont, and Alabama and High Point. Not really a lot of interest here.
Sounds like racetracks.
Yeah.
Like we're going to go watch a horse race at St. John's, Belmont.
But it's like these couple brackets are kind of ugly. just in terms of quality of team.
I agree. Yeah, but you're looking at 5-12s and 4-13s and things like that. Yeah. You're not going to get a pretty game out of that. What do you think about Alabama being a 4 there?
I don't think they deserve it. I think they should be falling. They're not the same team they were earlier this year, and
sure
they have a lack of depth in the front court, and it's catching up with them. So, yeah, let's see. Take a look at the Greenville, BYU, Texas A&M, Purdue, Troy, and over in Philadelphia pod, Kentucky, Miami of Ohio. Oh, they got a Miami of Ohio at 11 seed possibly. Not a lot of respect for 31-0. And of course, Kansas and Navy.
Well,
but they don't have David Robinson playing for Navy anymore. So
this could be all a bunch of shit show anyway, because Purdue has not been doing the best lately.
I've noticed that they're falling.
They need a turnaround in the tournament, and if they don't show well in the tournament, I don't give them much prospect of actually being in this bracket as a 3.
Right. Over on the Philadelphia pod, Kentucky and Miami of Ohio. See, I could see Miami of Ohio beating Kentucky, but they've got to shoot well. Kentucky's still Kentucky. Kentucky has some dangerous 3-point shooters.
I think maybe a 9-8. They should put them as a 9-8 against somebody.
That seems more fair than an 11 seed. It seems like they got underseeded. But then again, this is all projection looking at things right now. And the last part would be, I figured they'd have Florida and Tampa. See, there would be a bracket with UConn, though. Look at that. If Florida weren't sued, they could face UConn.
They put in more Big Ten teams in here. Okay.
That was what we were talking about earlier. It's like, why not put some of these teams from the smaller conferences that have good records just because they lose in a tournament? I mean, a one-game tournament.
What is even their like, I didn't even think they were that good.
No.
They're the 8th ranked team in the Big Ten. No, thank you.
Utah State.
I mean, they have a winning schedule in the conference. They're 11-7 in the conference, but they're only 19-10.
Yeah.
And if they don't win the next game, they'll be 19-11.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm sorry that doesn't say tournament team for me.
I agree with you. And of course, in St. Louis, St. Mary's and SMU, Illinois, East Tennessee State. St. Mary's is a really good team. They're undervalued based on them playing out west. Another great team in a smaller conference with a lot of good stuff to watch if you can. SMU.
Now, some of that,
surprised Illinois is a 2 seed though.
But like that St. Mary's SMU, like that, to me, I think that would be a good game to have in a tournament. I do.
I just don't see any. I don't see any Cinderellas though, or any
Merrimack. You don't think Merrimack's going to be the Cinderella?
No,
okay.
No. Maybe East Tennessee State or Illinois. Who knows? But we'll see.
No, that is not going to happen.
No. All right. Well, JT, any other thoughts? We're right about an hour
Oh,
24
about 90
minutes.
minutes. I
Yeah.
predict Michigan State to win the national title.
All right.
Which, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the final bracket comes out in a couple weeks. One other story that I came across that I wanted to share was uh, the FIFA World Cup is this year in the U.S. Well, apparently there are playoffs currently in Mexico to determine two of the final World Cup berths. They're being
Oh,
sold.
I thought you were saying there's playoff in Mexico to determine the next kingpin.
Why
But
not? Tickets sold for less than $17. Tickets are being sold for $17, far less than the 4,185 and 86.80 FIFA is charging for this year's final in New Jersey.
New
FIFA put t-
Jersey. What?
yep, well,
Okay.
yep. FIFA put tickets on sale Tuesday for the games on March 26 and 31 in Guadalajara and Monterrey, involving Bolivia, Congo, Jamaica, New Caledonia, and Suriname. So tickets are priced at 200 Mexican pesos or $11.30 in the March 26 semifinals and 300 pesos for $16.95 for the March 3 finals. So I don't know how New Caledonia is thrown in there, but they were. So it, I just thought it was interesting to see the ticket sales for this. But are you going to be with us when we talk about
But
World Cup this year, JT?
$17 in Mexico feels like about $30 to $40 if you're doing purchasing power parity.
Yeah. Well,
So
are you looking forward to the World Cup this year?
not yet.
Okay.
I have to see who's in.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about doing something, or me with others. I'd like to cover World Cup one year because I do like soccer. I'm not. I know a lot about it, but I'm not uh, intimately familiar with international hockey. So, but we shall see what shall happen. JT, I guess we'll shut down with that, folks.
Well, I
We
mean,
got through the
my
chat and
my
everybody.
my whole thing is the US is one of the host nations, right? So we get to be
Yep.
in the World Cup as a host nation.
Yep.
All I care is if we beat Canada.
Exactly. Don't let them win anything.
Exactly. I don't.
So
We don't. We don't need to win the whole thing. We just need to do better than Canada. Anyway.
oh yeah, exactly. That's what we need to do. We have our standards. That's what it is. Beat Canada. Beat Canada, and then if not, blame Canada.
Exactly. See, that's we think exactly alike on this. Okay, good.
Exactly. Yeah, Buddy said, you see the ball, you kick the ball. So, all right, folks, we'll just let you know. I'm not sure whether we're doing a stream tomorrow night because I got the information tonight that there's not a 7:30 game that I'm going, and I don't know that I want to pay $27 for a single game for not good basketball. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's worth the money. And then Mrs. Remember will be every morning 10 a.m. Except for Thursday. That's the day she's with my mom. But get your daily dose of positivity with her. And of course, I'm not like I said, I'm not sure. Our stream tomorrow night probably will be canceled because the timing. I think I'll be here late after 8, and so we probably won't be doing the Dadman detours tomorrow night. But then on Friday, no.
If
Thursday
you're
and Friday, I
not
don't have really any streams. But yeah, go
if
ahead.
you're not, you guys should come check out Dave and I.
No, yes. You
We'd
like
love to see you
comics?
over
Yeah,
there.
go for it. Absolutely. JT, you can put Dave's link channel if you out there if you'd like. But I do plan on having a squirrel stream Saturday night. As long as I'm back from the basketball tournament, I got to look at it because I think that may get wiped again. I was like, I want to get that stream going, but I don't think opportunity cost. I I believe they're playing at 5 and 7:30, which probably would mean no Saturday night stream. But we'll take a look and see. Maybe I'll do some early in the day. You never know. Call daylight with Dadman, not just nighttime. But hey, all right, we made it an hour and a half officially. JT, congratulations.
Yes, great timing.
Yeah, wonderful. Enjoyed the basketball talk, folks. It will be a wonderful 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it goes. But hey, hopefully your team Gators, but mostly, yeah, hopefully your team are the Gators and they win. Yes, that's the way we want to say it. There's a link for Talking Comics tomorrow night. All right, on that note, everybody. Oh, thank you for saying that.
Oh, okay,
buddy,
cool.
Buddy, do you mind putting his link in the chat? If you could put his link in the chat, we'll highlight that and we'll go raid B from O Jr. I thank you for pointing that out to me. B from O Jr. is the son of B from O, obviously, who has played Fortnite with us many, many times, and really great family there. So there's the link for that. So when we sign off, go over there, say hi to B from O Jr. and stay there a while. Give him some encouragement. You know, I'm doing a brick build and help him grow his channel, get some confidence. All right, JT, thanks again.
Thank you, Dadman. It was fun.
All right, we'll catch everybody later. Bye, everybody.
Wow.